Good morning, traders. Welcome to this video on the euro dollar and pound dollar. My name is Chris Forster from Elite Currency. Before we dive into the euro dollar, I wanted to let you know again about ECS Portfolio, a fully managed trading account by Elite Currency with multiple systems, manual and I should say semi-automated and automated, fundamental news and technical analysis, and multiple currency pairs and instruments. So take a look at this page. Go to elitecurrency.com, click on Products and Portfolio ECS for all of the information that you need. All right, now let's take a look at the euro dollar daily chart. We said last week that if on the 4-hour chart price stays and respects below the 116, 116.25 zone here, it's still in bearish territory, and a bounce could be a good move for a bearish swing to challenge the previous bottom and maybe break it. And that's what happened. Price made an ABC pattern here and rejected at that resistance zone, broke below the 21 EMA, and made a 100 pip move from the top to the bottom here, and then bounced. All right. So yes, we got a decent price swing, but price was unable, despite that bearish swing, to break below 115. We have a quadruple bottom here, 1, 2, 3, 4. We have a daily bullish pin bar at that support level. We are not able to close below WIS8, not able to close below 115. And on the daily chart here, we have a clear divergence pattern between these two bottoms now at the moment. And with the divergence pattern, the minimum target we could expect is the 144 EMA up in here, which is around the 117.50, 118 target zone. On the daily chart, we see that the 50 fib is still respected, that we talked about several weeks now, and has not broken below it. All right, so we see a doji again. We see a low again respecting that 50 fib. We don't see a close below that 50 fib, and we see indecision with more or less like a double bottom at that 50 fib. So for the moment, I think that considering also the 144 EMA on the weekly chart, typically what we see on this pattern is that if you have a break, pullback, and a bounce, that we get kind of a retracement like that if this push is not strong enough. So yes, last week I was bearish below 116, 116.25. That happened. But now with the bounce at 115 and the inability of the euro dollar to push below that, I am leaning towards a bounce up for or back to 117.50, 118. Now I don't know what will happen there, because it could easily bounce back down again, because this is the 21 EMA zone and it's bearish. It definitely has a good angle, and it could be strong enough if price respects that zone and then bounces there. It could be strong enough to cross the 144 EMA and go into bearish territory. So despite this kind of bullish pullback, it doesn't mean that the entire outlook is necessarily bullish. It could just make a retracement, bounce, and start heading lower towards the 61.8 fib, for instance. If there's a lot of strength here, and price, for instance, breaks, pull back, and then bounces, of course that would change things. We really need a break above the 21 EMA high on this weekly chart for a potential upside. In that case, if that happens, this is probably the ABC pattern that is completed with a little bit of a falling wedge at the end, and we're back into bullish mode. But if price respects the 21 EMA zone, this could easily just be a pullback within the downtrend, of course, because we are in a down mode, and it could be bears back in control and pushing it down to the 61 and 78.6 fib. So the 21 EMA zone, very important here. Bullish break above it, reversal, bearish bounce, downtrend continuation. But for the moment, a move up to that 21 EMA zone seems likely on the daily chart. That 21 EMA zone is equal to the 144 EMA plus minus, where we have 118, 117.50-ish zone. It might go a little bit further up to 119. If it does that, then it's already a little bit of a bullish sign. But it depends also on the if there's a bull flag after that. Then that would look very bullish. If it just moves up a lot but then starts to sink quickly, that would be also still bearish. But here at this moment, this does not convey much strength for the bears, I think, at the moment, and I think a retracement back into that zone is likely. On the daily chart, a break above the 20 EMA high would confirm it. On a 4-hour chart, I think this break above here would already do that, or the 144 EMA. It's already looking bullish now, in my view. if it can push through 117, 115.75. But yeah, with the daily bullish daily candle on Friday, I think that is signaling that there's a retracement coming on the euro dollar. Okay, pound USD. I was looking for a bounce at the head and shoulders level. Now we did get a bounce, but the bounce was small. It was only about 190 pips ish. Now for the pound dollar, that is small. It's a small bounce compared to moving back to the trend line, for instance. That would have been a big bounce. And we got a fairly quick rejection. So that happened a little bit quicker than I thought. I thought it could move up to the trend line. But it didn't. So I missed my target, that's for sure. And it went further down with the downtrend continuation. So the pound dollar wasn't good for me. But yeah, it was swift. This break below the 20-minute low would have signaled a warning for the bulls and could have been an entry for the bears. And or this break of the trend line. These fractals, of course, as well. Those could have been bearish entry signals. But after that, the price fell very quickly, and a lot of pips, in fact, anywhere up to 200 pips, anywhere from 200 to 175-ish. So there's a lot of space there. At this moment, there's some indecision. We have a wick at the bottom of the daily chart on Friday with the doji at the previous bottom. Looks to me more like a double bottom potential pattern. Indecision at the previous bottom, like we had here. To me, makes it more likely we'll see a bounce back up to that trend line like I expected, and maybe make a descending wedge because we have lower highs, but we have a flat bottom. So it could be a descending wedge pattern building up here, and then eventually break something like that to the downside. If this is typically would break to the downside, but it could break to the upside too. On the 4-hour chart, we see 2, 4, 5, 6 candles already not breaking this low. So I think that if it hits the 20-MA zone, makes a higher low, and then bounces and breaks, there is a fair chance of price moving up to that target around 137.50, 138. So yeah, not an uptrend, but I think a bullish bounce seemingly likely. We got the 144 EMA support. We have support from the previous tops coming in here, and this is more looking like some type of corrective pattern. It's moving down, but slowly compared to this upside is much more speed. So I think a bounce back to the top of that channel and the top of the perhaps bull flag pattern makes the most sense at this moment. So yeah, break above the 140 20 high, on the 4-hour chart, for instance, could confirm this upside back to the trend line, at least towards the 144 MA, if not towards the trend line. Excuse me. And we're already having a break above these fractals as well. We see price breaking above that. This could already signal a push up to 136. We could see a pullback there and a continuation like that on the 1-hour chart. Something like this, I think, could happen. So we see a break, pullback, break, flag, and a continuation up to that trend line. All right, folks, that's it from my side. We'll be back with a new video next week. Wish everyone great trading. Please check out ECS Portfolio. Very excited about that, so don't want you to miss that. But of course, there's no rush. Feel free to take your time and monitor it, and let the results speak for themselves in the next month. If they do, if they don't, then no need to join, of course. But if they do, maybe you'll think about it and consider that to be a worthy investment with risk capital you can afford to lose, obviously. So see you soon. Cheers. Bye bye.